Yeah, this is just our playback didn't go through, but we're here to inform you that we were reading from Cheon Seong Gyeong, page 411 to 416. So number 33, what caused the fall? Love caused the fall. The fall was an act of wrongful love. Wrongful love came about through the misuse of the reproductive organs. This is the formula. If Adam and Eve had not had reproductive organs, how could the people that make up humankind ever be born without reproductive organs? How could God's kingdom on earth ever come about? God's true and good kingdom of heaven on earth and in heaven comes into being and develops through the perfectly true and good use of the reproductive organs. Hell comes into being through the use of the reproductive organs in a manner that is not true. 34. God and Adam and Eve should have become one. But why did this not happen? The reason was the archangel. The fall occurred because of the archangel's false love. Adam and Eve should have connected vertically with God, but someone else from the side snatched them. The someone engaged with them in a horizontal relationship through the flesh. The human beings exist in two selves, an internal self and an external self. However, at the time of the fall, they were not united in mind and body. As a result of the fall, human history started without the division between mind and body, with the division of mind and body, and hence it has been riddled with conflict ever since. This has been happening not only on the individual level. The whole universe is like that. God's providence of salvation concerns how to rectify this. 35. Man is born for woman, and woman is born for man. Each one's first thought should be for their counterpart. Only then should they think of themselves. If they do so, both can claim victory and ownership. But instead, they came to think of themselves first before they could manifest their original value and be joined together. That was the fall. Why could God do nothing about the fall? What was it that made him so helpless? Why is the fall so hard to overcome? When Adam and Eve ate the fruit of good and evil, why did they cover their lower parts? Simply speaking, they have defiled their blood. This means they have defiled their life. By defiling their life, they have defiled their love. Human beings should have become the nervous system with a great body of heaven and earth, but they fell when they were underage. Who violated the women? It was the archangel, a servant. He violated Eve, God's daughter, who is in the future, was to become God's queen and outward manifestation. Yet the archangel changed her lineage. 36. The universe wants to expand for the sake of the whole, but Satan pursues everything centered on himself and pulls the universe to himself. His actions are opposite the nature of the universe and cause it to shrink. The result is that the universe is suffocating. It is driven into the pits of despair and bitter resentment. This view is logical and true. No one can refute it. by this logic, if we ask how human beings found themselves in this precarious predicament outside the Garden of Eden, we can only conclude that it was a result of the fall. The fall was caused by self-centered consciousness. Therefore, what we must do is deny ourselves not only as individuals, but also as families, tribes, peoples, and nations. We must admit in front of God that we are not worthy to be His children. 37. The fall happened as a result of self-centered consciousness, not as a result of free will. It is because of his self-centered consciousness that the archangel disregarded the conditions of his environment and instead thought of himself first. Satan was an individual existence that ignored the harmony between the subject partners and object partners that exist for the whole. He is a thief because he usurped the ideal of mutual relationship between the universe and the self. Such is Satan that, centering on himself, he disregarded the ideal of creation, the realm of love formed by mutual relationship, operating on behalf of the universe. Instead, he caused mutual relationships to transgress their proper bounds. This means that in essence, Satan ignored God. So, why you have to know Satan's identity? I just read 38 here, and then read. Who is Satan, the devil, and where did he come from? If Satan did not exist, Jesus would not have had to come, and God's providence of restoration, the providence of salvation would not have been necessary. All of this became necessary only because of Satan. As long as Satan exists, God's providence of restoration will have to continue. As long as Satan exists, the Savior will have to come. Looking at this, we can conclude that Satan came from among the creatures that God created. The fall means that something went wrong with human beings. They become sick. Who caused the fall? It was the devil, Satan. Therefore, we need to know his identity. The reason Satan still exists to this day is because no one has been able to uncover the root of the sin that he committed and accuse him before God. If someone could do that, we could punish Satan. In order to subjugate him, we must uncover his identity and initiate a campaign to banish him from heaven and earth. So let me read the one that I will be typing in. Of who Satan really is. So what kind of being is Satan? On number 40. The devil was actually a servant of God, but yet this servant raped his master's daughter. This was the fall. What is the fall as recounted in the Bible? The Bible describes it as Eve eating of the fruit of good and evil. But this fruit was not a literal fruit. In fact, the servant raped his master's daughter. She was supposed to fulfill God's ideal by raising sons and daughters who would inherit his lineage. But the archangel who was created as a servant raped the Lord's daughter, and that became the origin of the fall. How in the world could such thing happen? Yet heaven and earth ended up this way. So, last paragraph here. Originally, human beings were supposed to inherit true life, true lineage from God, possess authority over the universe, and live a glorious life. But due to the fall, they received Satan's life and lineage based on Satan's love. Satan is the enemy of God's love. He is the adulterer. In the Chinese characters for an adulterous man, Kanbu, the character for adultery, Kan, is formed by writing the character for woman 3 times. An adulterer is someone who steals the woman you love. That ends our Hoon Dok. So, the eating of the fruit of good and evil is not really an apple, but it is a symbol that is higher than life itself. It's sexual love. It is only for man and woman in marriage, not before marriage. And of course, this is also within marriage. So, the tree of life was Adam, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil is no other than Eve. He could have begotten good sons and daughters if she was blessed by God. But what happened was she begot children with more knowledge of evil. So Cain killed Abel, and of course all the people all over the world right now have original sin. So that's all for now, everyone. Today is January 3rd, 2016. Have a great and wonderful Sunday. See you on Sunday service, and see you here in the church or any center, especially in Las Vegas. We call it the International Peace Education Center. You can learn the divine principle there, or go to www.thedivineprinciple.com, or go to our website www.familyfed.org. Okay? Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.